whatever that walking 1,000 miles away.
I want to say Vanessa Carlton. I don't know if that's her name though.
Maybe so. This is one of the hood classics that black men love. What was that shit? Yeah, I think Cameron had a.
Oh, he covered it.
He jumped on. A few people did a remix to it.
That makes sense though, because like hip hop, a lot of the music. Oh, I was right.
Yeah, you was.
So a lot of the music is like, even like, remember back in the day when they used to do like a lot of samples with the violins and stuff.
Yeah.
In hip hop. So there's a little connection there.
Yeah, but that would be the beat makers. That's not even the actual rappers. Like they're not tuning in. But yeah, 1,000 miles away. That's a real hood classic. I mean, the boost of it is from white chicks too, but
yeah, there was a I specifically remember some award show. I think it was a Source or a BET or something where this was like in the 90s or something where they got one of the white girls that was playing the violin to do like her like
solo?
one of the like one of the hip hop beats.
oh yeah. You know,
like Dr. Dre didn't he had a lot of violin stuff in there too. I want to say. In his music.
This is supposed to be what, episode 9? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot episode 9 of whatever we're gonna call this just yet. The better version, really. But
it's kind of whack.
I mean, hey, nobody's coming up with better ideas.
I mean, I thought Fool's Gold was alright. Aside from like some questionable things.
It sounds ignorant to me, but it was a good name to go with. I thought also, but I didn't really like it. But since it's already taken, or if it's like, I don't know how the titles work, but hey, if you become bigger than this other one, you could just take their name, whatever. Since someone, everybody's doing a podcast nowadays, so should be lit, should be trash. What was I gonna talk about? Kanye and this whole push for making getting rid of the Gap deal and making factories work in California. And I was like, yeah, there's mad different perspectives of why that helps him if he makes that happen with the whole against China. But you was pointing out what was some of the points that bases he's touching?
Like, so he wants to do it in California apparently. So it's like you do kind of appease like the leftists, I want to say, out there. And then there's also
you appease the right because you're bringing jobs to America.
So you're appeasing the left too because it's in California at the same time. And just like there was some other points in there where it's just like he's hitting on a lot of different bases as far as like bringing the jobs back. It's one of those things where it's hard to argue regardless of what perspective you have.
Plus he is making, it's like, hey, I'm a big company, just like Apple or whatever clothing line is manufacturing in China,
right? And
no sweatshops.
You can afford to do that pretty much.
I mean, they could afford to do that too. It just would mess with their profit margins,
right.
And
it would cut into their profits too much.
But if Kanye's thinking it on a longer, better reputation scale, it's like, all right, we don't have to make as much profit as we can, but we've made a lot of profit already, which is
so why not give back?
Yeah,
I wonder how much that connects to like his meetings with Donald Trump and all that stuff, because that's kind of one of the things that Donald Trump was big on, is like bringing like manufacturing and stuff like that back to America. So
plus his clothes is like, it's unstoppable. To me, I think it's unstoppable.
Yeah, the brand. It's all about that brand, right?
Yeah, and plus he makes stuff that look good, and it's selling over everybody else's stuff. Well, I'm not gonna say the clothes, but the sneakers. It's like the most popular sneaker I could think of would have been Jordans, and he's selling more than those, and he's selling over, and his sneaker costs more than those. So it's like he's already accomplished. Hey, I hit the top. Now I could probably what is it? I'm not gonna say marginalize.
Monopolize?
No, not monopolize. It's more along of scaling wider. So
That was a huge thing. If you're Kanye and you surpass the Jordan sneaker, that's probably something that you would want to do. Is like, okay, wasn't that kind of like a controversy with the Jordan sneakers, like how they're manufacturing overseas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that might have been controversial for like a topic, but the people who buy Jordans don't give a fuck about that. Like,
of course they don't, but yeah, it could be.
So is it controversial to who? Like,
it could be it could be a talking point where it's like, yeah, this is why we're number one, and we manufacture in America as well on top of, so it's like more ethical. That's kind of like where a lot of things are moving these days, like especially if you look at like the whole thing about global warming and everything being more, quote unquote green, and all that. It's like a lot of people are paying more attention to that kind of thing these days.
Like, how can we do what can we do for the for us as Americans even to begin with, and how much are we focusing on that? So it does make you feel a way that, hey, bringing more jobs back to America is good for America, and we still want to keep this country going in a good, positive route. So anything to push back for it, to bring its economy up, is a plus for us, right? I don't think people are thinking about, pushing the economy to be better in America like that. That's not, because they're not thinking on a global scale most of the time. But I look at Kanye's moves and I'm like, this guy's always making any move he makes, it's going to be loud and everybody
is going to pay attention.
Yeah. Court attention at all times, right? Sun Tzu would say, or is it power? Yeah, that one.
I do think Kanye, like I kind of put Kanye in the category of, I guess, Trump at the same time, where it's like, I don't know if I trust this guy, but he does seem to be doing some positive things at the same time. So I was like, I
mean, you don't really trust nobody. Like,
yeah, of course not.
So, but for someone who we see that, hey, time and time again, hey, I'm trying to do something. Let's never get it confused. This is a for-profit business. It's never said that it's for humanitarian purposes. Like, that's not the main focus. Can we get some of that in that process? Yes. But this is for profit for me, and you shouldn't be confused about that.
I think
so
just as long as you're being honest about it, it's like, it's whatever.
So that's why I'm like, I trust it. I trust he's doing what's best for himself at all times. So I can trust him in doing that.
But that's just looking at it at a surface level, though, because it's like, it could go deeper. It could be like, I just want to make it seem like some selfish thing. It's just like, I'm just trying to make money. But it's like a lot of these people, they already got way more money than they know what to do with. So
yeah, exactly.
At some point, it becomes about more than that.
Yes, I mean, he also tries to run for president. He tried to run for president before. I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to run for president again. And hey, let me show you some of this core value that I'm putting into America. What president do we know? Even
Trump.
All right.
I mean, again, going back to that connection.
Oh yeah. He did a lot of sanctions and all those situations. So yeah, that is true.
I was actually working for a foreign entity at the time. Not exactly, but like they were immigrants. And one of them was like, when Trump was getting elected, he's like, damn, it's like, I like Trump, but he might mess with the money over here a little bit. Like, so, and he was
that a good thing or a positive or a net positive for America? Because messing with the money is like, is it messing with your profits, or is it making the GDP going up altogether?
I mean, I guess we have it big enough, like we have enough of enough evidence at this point where it's like we can see how things were going with Trump economically, and we can compare it to now economically, and it's like, let's see, there's a difference.
What about with beef? All right, because this is after the pandemic, so I would think it would be better to compare it versus the Trump era and then the Barack era and then the Bush era. Like, those would be better. Well, and then Trump's era is also part of the pandemic, so it's kind of hard to like gauge something that's never happened before. and what the economy is doing.
It all connects. So I happen to be of a mind where it's like, yeah, the pandemic, as we're calling it, is that's not necessarily. This is all I'm gonna say. I don't think it's necessarily disconnected from all the other stuff, which includes which politicians are in power. You know.
Okay, because I would say the pandemic is a different situation that we don't have a recorded president.
I guess you could say Spanish flu,
with it, but what president was president at that time, and how was the economy at that time? Nobody's doing that study right there. Like, and during the Spanish flu era, if there was even a president, because what is that, 1600s?
Yeah, it was more like, I guess, like medieval, like feudalism.
Yeah, but, so there wasn't even a president to go at that time. That was the king. That monarchy was going down. So
it's the same economic phenomena, I guess. At the same
we
time.
don't got the same economy as that.
I think it was like, at the same time, it's like, I do wonder.
It wasn't capitalism at that time.
I do wonder though, like, what if they just did nothing? What would the world look like?
Who?
The politicians. Because remember, it was coronavirus never did anything to me personally. So it's like, what would the world look like if they just didn't do anything? That's kind of what I wonder. And I could go much further on that, but this is YouTube. So
I mean, it's not just YouTube. We on different platforms, but this what if? I'm not too interested in hypotheticals and all that. Like, we could go and have a whole philosophy class on that. Or are we talking about, hey, what has happened and what are we? Because if we're talking about the economy of just the Trump era versus the Biden era or versus the Obama era, we have recorded facts on what's happening and how things are. So that's why I'm like, I'm not interested in the hypothetical.
This conversation is damn. There's just so much I want to say. But
I mean, hey, what you want to say, does it have to do with what happened, or is it, we just would like to speculate?
Well, it's kind of like, I think it all connects.
Okay. So
I also do think at the same time that the political game is kind of like a ping pong sort of thing, where it's like, it's really a one party state.
Yeah.
But it's like they just keep bouncing the ball back and forth.
But, all right. So to go back to, like, we just talking about Kanye and his, what he's doing for the economy, right? There's never been a pandemic before, right? In a president's
in this
term.
In this way.
Well, in a president's term, because the last pandemic, if we talk about Spanish flu, was during a term of a king, which isn't capitalism at that time.
Okay. Or, whatever it was at the time.
Yeah. So that's a different situation. That's not something you would compare to our America today, because we don't have a king. We got different elected politicians. Not to say it's just not the same situation, because however
it could
we're
be the same in principle,
No, because it doesn't run like it. It doesn't run like it. It doesn't shoot up the pole of, this person is the ruler and there's no going against that unless it's a coup d'etat, and that's it, or it's quiet. Like, and in here, we could possibly get a president impeached, or we could move a president along. He's only here for 8 years.
It could be a coup of sorts, a bloodless coup.
Yeah.
Some people say, the thing with Trump was a bloodless coup. So it's like,
I could get on that. I can see that, but it's not comparable.
What's the overall point though? It's in terms of it not being comparable.
Capitalism, a person's voted into office, a monarchy where it's a king who rules and decides all.
So you're saying that there are different systems of government?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that have to do with?
Because if we're talking about the economy and trying to examine the economy,
the effects on the economy.
Yeah, that's not the economy we have over there. That's like apples and orange, with a king and with a president. Now, a pandemic
is going to affect an economy regardless.
Yeah, it is. But
if it's a real one.
Yeah, since here's the thing, right? Since we had a pandemic, right? There's no other presidencies that's had a pandemic, so there's nothing to compare it to, except for these two presidents. Like it happened at the end of Trump's.
Right. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying, which is that I don't, and again, we're going into, quote unquote tinfoil territory, but I don't think the phenomena that led to the pandemic are necessarily separated from the people who are currently in power. I think it's all connected.
Okay.
And we can go into that. I mean, this is YouTube again, but it's like and other platforms, but that's like left field kind of stuff that is not necessarily appropriate for children.
I mean, I don't know if it's about appropriate. I'm kidding. It's going into because to me it's going into just pure speculation. We don't got no hard evidence or anything.
You could kind of like.
You could put the dots together on things, but what it is. We still speculating because until we get like a new WikiLeaks or something of this situation.
It's kind of like a trail you got to follow. Like, okay, who's benefiting from this? And then you kind of form like family trees. And I do got it.
But originally, we're talking about what's the, I guess, Kanye and his benefits on just doing that because he's going to do a presidential run again and him bringing back jobs and boosting the economy and touching each base he needs to touch in order to maybe possibly win. I don't know.
Win the presidency?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's. I was gonna get into that too. Yeah. And again, the connection with the Republicans and Trump and so on is like, it's kind of like seems like he's hitting on the same notes.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of I noticed that, so I was like, covering a lot of different bases because he has the money. The company makes enough money to where he can make that kind of appeal. Like, I'm gonna keep everything here. We're gonna pay. Even Amazon had a lot of controversy about like how they treat the employees, and like I said, there's a lot of.
Hey, don't disrespect King Bezos. King Bezos has done nothing wrong. That's a lot wrong. I don't know. I heard about that. I heard a lot of Amazon employees complaining and all that. I mean, I don't buy from Amazon enough to have a membership like that Prime membership. I've probably bought at least. I probably bought from Amazon probably like 10 times in my life over the span of like 10 years.
Like
some
eBay or some.
Yeah, I mean, I am originally an eBay guy. I've been selling and buying stuff off of eBay for over a decade. So I don't know. I guess I just always viewed Amazon as the ops, but they have successfully taking
everything over.
Yeah.
Can we pause?
Yeah, sure. What? My son gotta go piss again.
It's just one of those days, like.
Yeah. Drunken master. Yeah. Definitely back on. Hi, we're getting Mixie back on it.
Yo.
So, the topic of this discussion was why people be going in on reaction videos just talk about other people. Like, is that a necessity now?
I want to say it's a necessity, but it's probably one of the most easy ways to generate content. It's kind of like a website like Reddit or something like that, where it's like an aggregate for a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever's going on the internet, you can come here and get it. Pretty much any of what you're trying to find. It's like a collection of everything.
All right. Now, I had a question because you're a Reddit reader. You
occasionally. I don't go there as much as I used to.
Okay. Well, my question was, how the things you're reading on Reddit, how you know that shit is not from a bot?
It could be. But they can't all be like that. That would be insane.
No,
like,
of course not. Of course not.
it's like I would say it's probably a lesser percentage that's like a bot, or it's just a fake ass story that they're telling, or something like that. But I mean, going back to the video reaction thing, economy, if you want to call it that, it's like it's just easy. It's easy content, and it's like to be honest, like if you yourself are not interesting enough to watch by yourself, it's like I see a lot of like people who are pretty much boring, and they're kind of like just reacting to stuff.
You're not a person of substance. Is that what you say? Like Andrew Tate likes to say?
Yeah, and it's like they're just reacting to, look at this crazy thing that happened on the internet, guys. And it's like, it's easy to see how that might generate a lot of views.
I mean, yeah, TMZ is one of, that's what they do. They already are next to the news outlet. I mean, they are a news outlet now, but they're right after the news or before the news on TV. So I see that TMZ's doing it, and then after all these reaction videos are just similar versions of it, but just not on the network. And
then there's also just like a lot of people who are good at reaction. Like they do have the personality to make shit funny, and and
see, I find it somewhat disgusting sometimes.
Yeah.
But then it is entertaining. I probably would do it eventually. Because I just always got jokes on everything. You seen how I was just roasting one of those podcasters who is going along, and
you could react to the reactions, I guess.
Oh yeah,
that might be a new thing that nobody's really doing too much.
I guess you gotta say fair use, and people could just steal your video nowadays, right?
I mean, you could fair use, like that word doesn't really mean anything. You could still make a copyright claim.
Yeah, because I noticed. You know what I noticed with Kevin Samuels?
Yeah,
he'll still get your shit deleted.
Yeah, you can
there's no
use all you want. It doesn't matter if that person has a copyright claim and it's considered to be valid, then it's going down.
But I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, I guess the thing about those reaction videos is I'm seeing so many bad ones. Like people are not doing.
Yeah,
people are not making me laugh.
They're clearly just milking the original content for views, like piggybacking on it essentially. So.
But then you got some of the biggest, you got big ones out there who is similar to TMZ on the views. They're getting millions of views.
It's like you're not like in the content creation or whatever sector, you're not necessarily getting by just on talent or whatever. It's kind of like music or like the entertainment industry in general. It's like, it's not necessarily the best singer who's making it or like the best at whatever they're doing that's making it. Sometimes it's just a matter of, well, you just have the right combination of things at the right time. You just know the right people. You just have the right look. You just, your timing was good.
Yeah, you know what? Think about that. Now that you say that, what about like that? Did you see that the AI rapper?
Yeah, I did see it.
So it's curating basically all that you just said, but now we don't need an actual human being.
Right.
Your reaction to that?
I mean, hey, it's just more of the same. We're becoming more and more integrated and assimilated with technology, and we're just making humans less and less necessary. So you kind of have to worry, okay, if humans are becoming less and less necessary, what's going to happen to the humans that are here?
I don't think so, because art's not imitated. Like, I guess you would need a body of work in order to start producing something that you think somebody might eventually an artificial intelligence might be able to say, all right, this is some of the next things or similarities of making something similar to like the amount of music Tupac made, right, before he died.
They had the Tupac hologram, if you remember that.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Tupac had a bunch of unfinished music, right? I heard some of the albums. I heard some of the music, right? Of albums that happened after he died, right? And this was owned by Eminem, right? And I'll be honest, that shit, I didn't like it because the beats he chose were just Eminem beats. Those weren't Tupac beats. That's why I didn't like it. So thinking about it is like, all right, a human couldn't do it from that standpoint, but maybe a computer, an AI could actually come up with, all right, this beat would go better in the similarities of what beats would have been with Tupac at that time. So,
yeah, but it probably still can't perfectly recreate what
is there a need for perfect if you could just get close enough?
No, that's the scary thing about living in a simulation.
Yeah.
So that goes into the whole theories about, do we live in a simulation, blah blah blah. It's like, isn't it good enough? Like let's say we live in an artificial reality. Isn't it good enough if we just get close enough to like what they call base reality?
Do you think we're in the Matrix?
Yeah, we are. It's just a matter of what the nature of it. So it's like one of the ways I try to demonstrate that point is like a simulation is just something is basically like fake. That's like basically like essence of what that means. And so like we there's a base reality, and so like okay, one of the best ways I try to demonstrate is like the news media and social media. We know most of the things that we see on our screens are fake in some way, shape, or form, and yet it's still kind of dictating the way that we think and the way that we operate.
When you say most things we see on social media are fake, like what would you say is like fake on social media? Like what, airbrush pictures you mean, or
You could start off with that, yeah. Fake appearances, fake lifestyles, people putting like the highlights of their life, and they're not putting the lowlights of their life.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's fake because you don't put the bad parts, but, even though life has bad parts and good parts, and if I just save the good parts, that doesn't make it a fake. Like,
it's still, I mean, if you look at it in like a broad sense, it's like, okay, so if you have a if you have a picture and the sun, the sun is in the picture, and you just focus your eyes on the sun, that doesn't mean that everything is bright necessarily, Mm-hmm. So it's like it's still presenting sort of a false or altered reality. It's certainly not.
I don't think that. I mean, I see what you're saying about that, but I wouldn't think that.
That's just one aspect, as well.
Oh yeah, because
news media.
I'm looking at it like, all right, somebody's social media. Just because they don't post the bad times don't mean they don't have bad times. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Again, but it's all about like your perception through the screen.
Yeah.
So it has been shown.
But are you watching somebody for their whole life? You're not watching nobody for their whole life.
There has been studies which have shown that like the fact that social media, we're mostly putting our best foot forward. I want to say there have been studies that have shown this, but because we're all pretty much showing the highlights of our lives, that actually creates depression, because we're comparing our lives to someone else's highlights, and that's kind of become like sort of a thing that we like sort of saying.
Well, comparison is the problem there.
Comparison is the thief of joy, as they say.
Yeah, you shouldn't be comparing your life to other people.
But we're humans; we're gonna do that regardless.
No, we don't.
That's just human nature.
That's not even human nature. I go with what my man Sadhguru said. Right?
Okay.
He said, "We're raised like that. Our schooling to begin with is, hey, you got a better grade than him, or you got a better grade than her, or you're doing the best in your class," because you're comparing yourself to someone else, and that's where we're grooming each other into comparison. Now, if you make the distinction of knowing that I should not compare myself to nobody,
you don't have to groom human beings to compete with each other. We've always been like that. Comparison is sort of a form of sort of the inception of competition.
I'm not going to say that because we don't have examples of people who grow. Well, you know what? There's that island where you can't go to. If you go there, they'll try and kill you. So we could use that as an example of... That's
just a basic demonstration of humans' territorialism and our territorial nature.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're on that island comparing each other to each other.
Of course, I think they would be. Especially if...
Well, you can only speculate because you don't know what's going down on that island either.
I would say, yeah, there's more cohesion with like I think there would be more cohesion with like a smaller tribe of people because there's just less things to fight about. But at some point or another, it's kind of like, I don't know, you go back to like Cro-Magnons and Neanderthals and like all that kind of stuff. It's like conflict is going to happen eventually between human beings, it seems to me. And damn, what were we even talking about originally?
Originally, we were talking about we went off a tangent on the comparison of people growing like that, and I mean groomed like that versus naturally like that. We're talking about
I think if anything, we can be groomed to be not like that.
I'm already not like that, I would say, because I don't think about comparing myself to my friends. A lot of people would compare myself or have done that with me, and I'll be looking at them like, I don't care.
We don't really compare ourselves with like our friends.
We do that. We do that. Yeah. Well, here in the hood, I guarantee we do that a lot. A lot of people watch my moves and see what I'm doing and try to compare. They might talk shit about me with it, and that's where I know that comparison it goes on in their mind. I think this is the distinction.
I think the distinction is that a lot of people compare to you, but you compare to like the broader world.
I don't.
Personally. You don't look at Andrew Tate. You don't look at any of these people and compare yourself to them.
No, because if I did, then I'll be thinking about how much I'm not nowhere near their status, and I don't do that.
That would just be surprising.
That would put me in a state of depression. Like I'm not nowhere near their status, and I'm trying to get to this. That's why I don't do that. Okay. Like it's a recipe for losing for myself. It's like
it's not something you're not gonna go down that rabbit hole too much because it's gonna take you down like a depressive sort of.
No, I don't go down that rabbit hole because it serves me no purpose. Okay. Like I don't need to.
It doesn't do anything for you, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Plus. I'm also on the. I forgot when I learned this. No, when I came into consciousness of knowing that I don't compare myself to others, and I don't think about it. It's probably later years in my life, probably like mid-20s, because I'm thinking about other people who might compare themselves to me, and when I hear conversations about me behind my back. That's when that starts to click and like, oh wait, no, they're comparing themselves to me. That's when I'm thinking about that now, and I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that's what you do, but that's none of my business because it serves me no purpose to compare. Hey, we both in this shit boat together. Like it's not. Hey, I got a little less shit on my sneakers, all right, and now.
So you didn't.
I'm better than you.
Like you didn't grow up. We didn't really grow up in luxury or anything like that. So I have to wonder, like, okay, knowing you, like certain tendencies that you have, certain tastes that you have for nice things. How does that not come down to some sort of comparison at some point where you're like, damn, these other people got it better. I'm gonna get that somehow.
There's so if you think about it in that sense, right? It's these other people have it better. I want that. I want to live a better life. It's like you at some point or another. I'm just saying at some point or another you have to have some notion of there being like a better life outside of basically being poor. Yeah. Now here's how I'm looking at it, right? Like I could look at something and say, "Oh, all right, that's better." Is that me comparing the shit to just in the sense of the word comparing it and saying it's better? I guess you could say I do that because I'm thinking about. But am I gurgitating like jealousy or envy or mad or being angry at this person for that? I would say I'm not developing those
it's not negative emotion.
Yeah,
that's
those
kinda,
emotions.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm doing. So technically, yeah, you could say I do compare
but you look
to things, but I'm not.
It's kind of like they say men see a great man and they see inspiration, and women see a great woman and they want to tear her down. So it's not like you're not feeling like negative.
Yeah,
you just use it as fuel to get yourself to
yeah. I guess yeah, that's where I would go with it, because I really like seeing certain things inspires me. Like, yeah, now I gotta go do better. I gotta get things done for myself and all that. So that's kind of like, I guess inspiration is what I get out of a comparison versus the negative. I mean, what people normally have.
Right, where they just want to tear that person down as opposed to like elevate themselves. Yeah. All right, that makes sense.
But you touched on the whole fake, the social media being fake, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, news media, like it goes far beyond social media.
Trump quoted fake news, right? Yeah. I mean, he made the term that, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't it entertain people, all this fakeness?
Yeah, that's part of the whole gambit.
So it's a necessity then.
That's a good point actually, because like bread and circuses. You ever heard that phrase?
What?
Bread and circuses? Like in Rome, like the rulers of Rome said, you just have to keep the people fed and keep them entertained, and that's fine. That's all you need to do to rule over them. So bread and circuses.
Oh, bread and circuses. Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a new term for me. So but that's how far.
So like it keeps. That's the point. Like to keep you entertained. It's like because we have food, right? We got pretty much. Even if you're broke, you can go get food stamps, buy some KFC, or whatever.
All right, shit.
So, well, we could just edit that, but yeah, like yeah, damn.
I'm messing with you. What you want to throw a conspiracy in the mix?
It doesn't even. Damn, this shit is fucked.
Yeah.
You
good.
It's going in and out. It feels like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Damn.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so yeah.
We definitely gotta get a new mixer. The production ain't up there yet. The production is gonna get better another time.
Yeah.
Yeah. This product is expensive, but hey, it's the cost of not paying for a studio to go to and just chilling in the crib and cooking it up naturally is easy. That's why we don't want you to quit after 10 episodes.
the Hood Podcast. I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, if you got chicks here, it'll be more entertaining at least. Two logical people talking. It's like, yeah.
Oh shit! Damn, two logical people. Nah, Denzel's not a third logical person.
Yeah, he is. He's not here.
The push for logic, I think there's a need for that.
It's a balance. Everything's a balance.
See, but this mixer ain't the balance right now. Shit's fucked up.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going so good too.
Yeah. Alright. You should be straight now.
Yo. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
I was watching Judge Joe Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He was commenting on this Fox Soul with
Oh yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. He said something about, damn, this shit is.
It's trash right now. It's trash. But don't worry. We'll be back soon with a new one. Halfway into the grave.
Yeah. Yeah, it is halfway into the grave.
This is crazy how, it's not like I did anything with this product and this should just start falling apart on its own. But.
Can keep going.
Sure.
Judge Joe Brown.
Yeah, saying some prolific things as he normally does. Just judging by that I was watching O'Shea Do Jackson video where he was like, yeah, me and Kevin Samuels talked about we would never go on Fox. So and it's like, all right, it makes sense that you wouldn't, because they do underhanded stuff. And being that would you ever go on any of these networks to actually talk? Because they'll twist up anything you say.
Of course they will, but court attention at all costs.
Oh, so you would be doing that?
I would probably do it. I'm not gonna lie.
You would be the liaison for this podcast right here.
I would do it. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like I know what they're gonna do, and I know they're gonna make me look bad. But at the same time, it's like I don't care how I look, kind of shit. At the same time.
So you gonna violate though?
I probably will. They wouldn't be able to air the episode.
Now I would petition a statement. I understand Kwani's views, and you ask for him to talk, and you get what you get with that.
Only one or two things is gonna happen. I'm gonna disrespect the crap out of them, or I'm gonna make them look really bad, or both potentially.
Oh,
those are like.
Well, I hope you do the last part, which is make them look really bad. That you would be willing to go on one of those when.
See, if I was on there with Cynthia G, it's like it's a good thing I kind of do my research on people, because like, I would be like, ma'am, you have a baby by a black man, and now now you're trashing black men. I thought you were on the side of white men now. Why are you still obsessed with black men?
I understand something that I probably am. It probably doesn't sit right with people, but with these different platforms and all these people talking, like, I'm gonna judge you on how you look. If you look weird, if you look stupid, if you look like you don't take care of yourself, I'm not talking to you.
Did you see the person on the top left corner in the foxhole thing?
Yeah.
You would have. I think you would have caught that.
You'd have caught that. No, I would. No, because here's the situation, right? That person's not gauging the situation. That is not their. They have ulterior motives, and I could tell by what that person was saying.
Right.
I'd be like, all right, you know what? You sound like you on some bullshit. That's when, and that's another thing that I gauge when I hear certain talking points. It'd be like, all right, nah, there's no reason to talk to you no more, because I'm not here to overturn idiots that is on some bullshit.
My thing is, like, as soon as I just inherently knew they were going to be on some foolishness, because it's just like, you just kind of get the vibe. Like, you can know they're not going to, you were kind of talking about this where it's
I never heard of Foxhole until that panel.
And you know they're not going to give black people a platform like that unless it's like they're doing their bidding in some way, shape, or form. So it's like you I
need black people to stop using this king and queen shit. This shit is annoying me, son. Like, no, the king is not an honorable person, nor is people ever really loved kings. Like, only people who have no intelligence would love the king. Most of the time, people are envious and be like, all right, nah, if I could take his head off, I could become king, you know? And the queen, they sat in their place, and they didn't, calling someone queen when most of the time queens didn't even have the opportunity to talk most of the time, is like, yeah, that's an oxymoron. Why are you calling people queen?
Well, it's like Patrice O'Neal said, the queen is the king's, you know what? So, bitch.
Oh, that's what. Oh, all right, yeah. I guess that, but yeah, that's all they're there for. You're there to just reproduce. You didn't have jobs to go do things, and that's why it's like, yeah, why call? It's kind of an insult to call somebody that king and queen.
I mean, you're going a lot deeper than most people would on that. Most people, when they use that term, they're just using it as like, oh, you know, you're a good person sort of thing. You're a great person.
No, they using it for the Disney shit that they've grew up with. Like, cut it out. We're not here to fake romanticize
Right.
Words have meaning, and if you don't know the origins of that, and you just hear with the trendy stuff, you sound like an idiot to me. And then, hey, I don't really need to have a conversation with idiots, even though I understand that a lot of people are dumb, but to just go back and forth and waste time with someone who is dumb, it's like, wait, hold on. I'm going to leave this job for someone else who wants to be a part of the
has the patience for it.
Yeah, someone who wants to be a great debater, you know? Because going back and forth with people is like, all right, does this person lack intelligence?
Yeah, you do get. I was a lot more argumentative when I was younger. And it's like, I had more patience and energy for it. Now I'm just like, whatever. I'm just going to let stupid people do their stupid shit.
Yeah, let stupid people keep stupiding. But but to go into that, it's like, all right, if we have a disagreement, I do want to have a conversation with someone I have a disagreement with. But if you're just a talking point of idiocy, no, I'm not talking to you. I don't need to talk to you. Someone else can handle that who wants to be a debater. Or even go into the part of, like I said, judging people by how they look. Yeah, if you don't keep yourself together, I'm going to know that, hey, you don't even care about yourself that much to keep yourself together. Because at the same time, image is important. We know what it is now. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. That's cap. Everybody does that. The only people who's going to be willing to admit it is people like myself who stays on some hot honesty. Now, I'm not keeping it 100 at all times, all the time, because
you can't really function like that.
Yeah,
it's just, you have to do. I mean, if you're trying to be authentic, you do as much as you can while still being able to function. You know.
But yeah, that goes into the details of, like you said, that girl, right? Cynthia G, right?
Right.
She looked like a scarecrow. Like, she was crazy. But that's not somebody who looks like they have all the marbles in their head. So that's why I'm like, I can't. That's
what Dr. Umar said. He's like, this woman has been traumatized by a black man.
Yeah.
This woman has been traumatized by, this sister has been traumatized by, this sister has been traumatized by a black man.
Oh, man. I understand. I understand you got to repeat things 3 times. But you got to understand, I don't have that much time to waste. Because really, I don't have that much time to waste. My lifespan lets me know I don't have that much time to waste on talking to people like that.
Right.
So with that damaged product of someone who, hey, we're all damaged, right? It's about if we're able to get over that damagedness and
move towards something productive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm always about productive stuff. Now, is it same thing as progressive? No. But
some people just want to wallow in their stuff, you know?
Yeah. I'm
guilty of that myself.
Yeah. You're a specialist. That's what I definitely would say you're a specialist. But I gotta stay away from those type of characters. Now, you are the company you keep. Hey, the company that you wanna entertain most of the time, or like even just debating, right? Debating takes a toll on you. And
we were just talking about that, you know, like how, you know, the stress of it kind of accumulates after a while. It's like negative energy, if you believe in that, you know, and things like that.
No, I ain't talking about negative energy, but the stress is a real thing that is not good for your body. Right. I don't like to try to use them trendy words that people want to come up with, like, oh yeah, this is giving me vibes,
low vibration.
Yeah, like come on, do you have something to measure vibrations? No, you don't have nothing of the sort. You don't even know how radio signals work, but you're talking about low vibration. I don't want to hear that shit.
It kind of amounts to speculation.
Yeah,
because even Nikola Tesla was kind of talking about that a little bit, you know. But it's like we know
that's an actual inventor who knows science.
Yeah, most people haven't really pinpointed like how this kind of stuff might really work. It's just kind of speculation, I guess.
Yeah, I'm stay away from the speculators. Like, that's just nasty, because it could have you running into circles. But back to debating, right? I'm like, certain people are debating you. What is it? To show that they're right, to be right.
The need to be right.
The need to be right. Yeah. To actually understand where you coming from, to understand what if their argument is of some substance that is bulletproof, or it is that it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was younger, probably teenager, I had an argument with one of my homeboys' friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
He and I were going back for like probably 2 hours, back and forth, off of an argument, right? And I'm like, I know I'm right. And this dude, at the end of that argument, he admitted to me, he was like, yeah, I just didn't want you to be right.
Wow.
I just didn't want, you're right, but I just didn't want to lose to you. And I'm like, yo, this is a lose-win situation, now I learned from that. I'm like, I don't want to have discussions to win or lose. Right. It's about understanding and learning.
A real discussion. And you got to understand, like, probably the vast majority of people that you're going to get into debates and arguments with, they want it's some stupidness. Like, they want attention. They have the need to be right. They just feel like arguing. It's like you can usually tell who's really trying to understand and come to some sort of understanding, and who's just trying to argue just to argue or troll or what have you. That's
why I'm not debating people.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not going on panels and stuff like that. Like, going to other people's spot. I don't see much of people with integrity that has a platform.
Not, right.
So that's why I wouldn't, like, if I would go on somebody's platform, I'll be like, you know what? I did the research. This person has integrity. I would speak to them.
The reason you go, like, to a platform where you're like, there's a lot of people who they go to the exact opposite viewpoint platform knowing that they're not going to get a fair shot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they're going in the hopes that that other people are going to see that and they're going to be like, you know what? He kind of made sense. Like,
that's a good idea.
That they're going to convert the audience. They're not worried about the other people on the panel. They're worried about the audience. And, like, it's like when they have public debates and stuff, and it's like, okay, I know this person's not changing their mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a vote with the audience, and the audience, it's like, what did you think before the debate? What did you think after? And the audience will sway towards one point or the other, depending on how they felt about the debate.
Yeah, I mean, hey, curating more audience members, I guess. And that's what I think about it. Is like, you're going on these platforms just to promotion and get more audience.
Court attention. Court attention at all.
I guess so. No, I don't like that nastiness. I
don't necessarily like it either, but hey, I can't argue that it works.
Now, if you ever go on any other platform representing this podcast, there's never going to be an apology statement about your remarks or
I would hope not, because I'm not apologizing. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, of course not. Nah, because I know how wild you could get. So I'm like, you know what? Yo, that's what he stand on. That's what you asked for him to speak, and you're going to get what you're going to get. Now, whatever he said, I'll be honest. I'll say things along the lines of, I'm not exactly sure what you said, but if that's what he want to stand on, that's what he want to stand on. My views are very similar to him, but at this 100%. Time, I cannot concur or deny whether or not I have the same views. That's where I would be going with it.
Gonna get canceled.
Yeah, of course.
I just think, like, if I ever somehow make it to some mainstream.
No, you definitely will make some mainstream.
I'm gonna cut my mic off.
No, I mean, you know what's funny? I know you can contain yourself and you can make it to mainstream. Yeah. I just know that I think you would find so much joy in destroying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would be like, I would be cool for like a hot 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, damn, I actually like this. And I'll be like, yeah, you guys know, blank did blank.